Hi, my name is Grace Baroni, and welcome to Conversations with the ERC5. Today, I am so delighted to have with us my friend Liz Davila from Kind Hands Adult Social Day Program. This is a fabulous new nonprofit located in a beautiful residential neighborhood in Longmeadow. Liz, beyond excited to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me, Grace.
Thank you so much. So tell our listeners who don't know your history in senior care, a little bit about your for-profit business and how that led you to this amazing home that you have created.
Okay. Well, I am the one of the partners and owners of Kind Hands Care at Home, and we're based out of East Longmeadow. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of years of healthcare experience already. And I just thought, wow, about 13 years ago, we opened up the home care side of it. And just recently, about 18 months ago, we had thought, wow, it really does need some sort of, I feel like we need it to sort of grow a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily through the home care, but maybe through other avenues and have an extension of something.
Yes.
And on everybody's mind is usually Alzheimer's and dementia. That's always the most challenging piece for a lot of caregivers and a lot of employers and employees. So I thought, okay, well, why don't we do something that people already do, except that ours is a little bit more unique because it's in a home. Mm-hmm. And let's open an adult day program. Let's make it so that we can have caregivers go there and we can have clients or participants, as I call them, go there mm-hmm. and see what they would do in a social setting, relaxed social setting. So that's how that kind of transpired. It really was someone, actually the activities director over at the house, the residential home, actually, she was the one who had years ago, probably 6 years ago, came to me and she said, Liz, this is a great idea. I just did I did a class on as a dementia practitioner, mm-hmm. and I did it on the East Coast of the state, and I was in a home, and she goes, check this out, and I said, okay, this was 6 years ago, and then we went finally to revisit that same thought a couple of years ago to see how we could get it going. So
yeah, you are fabulous. You are a leader, a trailblazer, because you really have such a rich background in senior living, mm-hmm. and you are senior health care.
Yes.
And you do so much for our seniors and their families. Mm-hmm. And to see this need, which has been out there, and to bring it to fruition in the way that you have, it is absolutely such a beautiful place. It's warm, it's welcoming. We do have adult memory care facilities.
Yes, we do.
In our area. And they're wonderful because there is such a need. Mm-hmm. But they are facilities.
Right.
And this just has a warm, welcoming environment. You just feel like, this is good. Yeah. This is good, and it's wonderful. Yeah. It's absolutely wonderful. So we've established the location is beautiful. We love it. Tell us about some of the programming that's going on. So I bring my mom there, mm-hmm. and I drop her off for the day so that I can get myself a little respite.
Yeah, self-care.
What will you provide for her while she's there? What are some of the programming?
Well, some of the programming is we basically have our, the same, we have like an activities calendar. So the mm-hmm. activities every day there is always a let's have a coffee and chat moment so that we all get to kind of relax and have that nice little breakfast. Basically, it's like a snack, and then usually it comes down to whatever the plan is for the day. So it could be exercise, it could be art therapy, it could be music therapy. So everything has its routine, mm-hmm. and we also provide a meal, a good healthy meal for lunch and a snack in the afternoon. So it's kind of broken up differently, but mostly the activities are planned as far as like what we could do for people that actually use motor skills, use brain skills, current events, or what was it like when they were 16 years old, and bring up those activities. So those are the types of things that we do on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Exercise, a big one. So so we do provide all of those therapies for mm-hmm. our individuals who come, our participants who come to the program.
So now let's say I want to drop mom off, but I don't want to do 9 to 5.
Right.
And maybe, my work takes me away from 1 to 3 or 11 to, strange or different hours other than that 9 to 5. Is that something you can accommodate? And, do I have to come every day with her, or do I pick? How does that work?
Okay. So the program is 9:30 to 4:30.
Okay.
Now, we've had a lot of people want to do half days, but the problem with that is that we want to create the routine because everybody's in the same environment. And routine is really important for anyone who has any kind of dementia or cognitive impairment, Alzheimer's. Routine is really the key. And we've had a participant, family member, actually learn that just recently, who kind of said, well, I'm not sure if I should do this on these days. But then she realized that her mother was looking forward to that. So routine is always the key. We are 9:30 to 4:30, so we really don't have half days. If you're gonna want to pick up your mom early, then you can. That's okay. But the routine is what's important. It's a 2-day minimum. So if it's Monday through Friday, the program is, like I said, Monday through Friday, but it is a 2-day minimum.
Okay.
So that way, again, it becomes the routine. It becomes the habit forming of that person. Because the reality is you might need more than a day for self-care as a primary caregiver. And that's really is important. So we try to stress that, and it works. It really works. It's been working since we've opened the program in October. So,
well,
yeah.
To your point, routine is everything.
It really is.
You put a holiday in the middle of the week, and it is not a good time.
These
with
two
my
holidays
mom,
are tough.
it's very challenging. Once that routine is broken, even if it's just a day, getting them back onto the routine, because that's how they, tell time or just, calculate how their day goes is by those routine items that happen every day. But you just said something, the caregivers. So it's wonderful that you have all these amazing programs that you're keeping the guests, the participants active and engaged in.
Right.
But there's also that added benefit to the caregiver, because when you're caring for someone with a dementia, it's a struggle because, you can get the same question asked to you 10, 20 times in the matter of an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of thing. Because there's a lot of that. And as much as we all love our loved ones, we do get to the point where we're forgetting to care for ourselves. And we get lost.
Right.
We get lost, right? Because it becomes all about caring for my loved one. So talk a little bit about the benefits that are involved to the caregivers, the other family members, by having this respite.
No, it really is. It's the respite. It's that time for themselves. We had a participant come, and she's now back with us. Like way in the beginning when we first started to open up, and the daughter was so excited. She really wanted to see how this would work. How could this benefit her mother and her? And so she had her come to us 2 days a week. She dropped her off, and she, her dementia was pretty. She's a high functioning person with severe dementia, but at the same time she's always moving around, so she's constantly going. It's a constant thing for her. So we have to make sure that we personalize care for her in that home as well. So there's always something to do in every room aside from the activities that we already have as a routine. So nothing's set in stone. But the daughter had to make some changes because for her personal reasons, and she had to make some changes, and so she took her mom, and then she came back. And she realized that the self-care was important, because that's one of the pieces that I always stress during a tour or when I'm trying to talk about the program is you really need to take care of you. And it's a saying, everybody says it, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of someone else, at least the way you want to, right? The way they deserve to be taken care of. So it does benefit them. And you can see it in her eyes. You can see it in their eyes every time we talk about it. And I said, this is why we do these things. This is why we have these resources for you. It's not just this resource, it's not just this house. It's providing this care. And it's a safe environment. When they see that the place is safe, when they feel that comfortable and mom goes and wants to come back the next time that she's scheduled, then they're feeling, okay, now I feel good. So it's really good for them. I always make sure that I stress to them, it's important to take care of you because it is hard. Caregiving is hard. It doesn't matter what environment you're in. It takes its
toll.
It really does.
It does.
And I try to say this, let's just make it easier for you. It's going to be okay. And it's a relaxed atmosphere. And so she loves that. So that's good.
And you're doing that for families.
Yes, doing it for families.
Yeah. And the nice part is when you come and pick up mom and take her home, everyone's had that break, that respite. So you're fresher, you're just more in tune, and you can start all over again, even if the questions are repetitive.
Right.
You haven't been navigating that all day.
Exactly.
You had that buffer.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is, a buffer.
Provided by Liz.
Yes, provided by our great
Your amazing
staff.
team.
Yeah, our great team at the Kind Hands Day program. I'm telling you, we've got dementia practitioners in there. We have CNAs in there that have worked with people with dementia. So we want to make sure that we really do have the right person in place, because you got to read, you got to know when something's going to change, because that's how quickly Alzheimer's and dementia is. They change so quickly. So you want to just go with the flow and see how you can make it easier. But I tell you, they all get to know each other. It's a great socialization for them anyway. And, you have in some cases, maybe they may not understand what the person is saying, but everybody's going with it, including their peers, their own the participants. So it's nice to see. I saw it yesterday morning when I was sitting there having coffee with him, and we were going over some trivia, and one of them just started breaking out singing. One of our participants just started singing, and everybody just joined in. And I thought that was really great. It's a feel-good thing.
It's a family.
Yeah, it's a family.
Kind of
and it feels that.
It's a family that comes together.
Exactly.
You have that commonality of the dementia, whatever it is, but you all come together.
Yep. And when a family member can see that, it just makes them feel better. Now I can go and do what I need to do for me, and I come back and I'm okay.
Because I know they're in a good place.
They're in a good place. Yeah.
All thanks to Liz and the amazing
and our
team.
Yeah.
And our time's coming to a close, so I want to make sure that we touch on this before we go.
Okay.
Because another wonderful thing that you're doing, support groups. And we all need that, right?
Yes,
you need to know, because sometimes you can feel like you are so alone in all of this. And when you gather with other people that are on the same journey as you, and you're able to share your experiences, what a great thing. But it's much more than that. So can you share just a little bit about one of your support groups that you have? Yeah,
so on the I believe it's going to be the second Tuesday of every month. We're going to have a caregiver support group at the house. So at the home in Longmeadow. It's like a 5:30 to 6:30. And we're going to have different guests who are specializing in Alzheimer's and dementia. So this Tuesday, like January 14th, we have a support group scheduled for that day, for that evening. And Beth Cardillo, who happens to just be the guru of all gurus when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia, is going to be helping us with a special presentation with that. And that's going to get it kick-started. But it's like I said, that's one of the events that we're going to have ongoing every month. It's the second Tuesday of every month.
Second Tuesday of every month.
Every month. There'll be a caregiver support group. And we're going to we'll send out, through the ERC5.
It's in your newsletter, so you can check the newsletter or our social media.
That's right, and we'll make sure that everyone's aware of it so that they could join us if they can. I've seen some people really respond to that really well, and I know that people are thinking about it, especially after the holidays.
That is so important.
Yeah, so they need some support. We need to let them know that we're there for them too. It's not just caring for the person who's got dementia, but we want to care for you too, because it really is important that you get that, you have that support from us. Yeah.
So the participants,
yes,
and the family members are all in good hands with Kind Hands.
Yes, definitely. I like that.
See,
good hands, kind hands.
Absolutely. So, and I'm sure that probably on the website they can learn more about the support groups. There'll be reminders there as well.
Yep.
Okay, so they can go to your website, which Tony's going to put up for us.
Yes.
So they can find you there.
Yep.
And if they have any questions. Anything like that?
Yep.
I know. You always answer. I can attest to that. She answers every call, no matter what time, when it comes in. Liz will get back to you.
Well,
you guys are fabulous.
To make the call, I should answer the call, right? So here we are.
Liz, thank you so much for making time to join us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for joining us for Conversations with the ERC5 here at Stonegate Studios in Wilbraham. If you would like to be our next guest, please go to our website, erc5.com, and you can sign up there.